As she sat down on the outhouse toilet, something reached up and
Yo, no, Zach, we gotta talk about these animations, bro. What is this? We adding jiggle physics to the butt now? What's good, YouTube? Today, we're gonna be looking at Zack D Films. Y'all know Zack D Films, the one who gives us those crazy animations of those crazy things that go on. Without further ado, let's get started.
If you use cotton swabs to clean your ears, be careful. Many people use cotton swabs without knowing how dangerous they can be. Not only can they cause—
I'm not gonna lie, anytime someone put a cotton swab on their ear, that just kind of look disgusting, bro. Y'all ever met someone that like their eyes roll back as they put the cotton swab? That is literally just disgusting. I'll be honest.
Cause infections, but when you use a cotton swab, you push the earwax deeper into the ear, which can cause pain. Instead, use a flak 18 to 3688 mil.
Yeah, cotton swabs are so last year. Let's start cleaning our ears using like AR rifles, bro. I feel like that's gonna be much better than actual cotton swabs. Let's go to regular Zack D Films.
the hot wax dropped straight into her open right.
Yo, Zach, this is how we starting this? Yo, come on, Zach. I'm gonna need you to lock in with this, bruh. We're not even 30 seconds into this and you already telling me a girl got wax in her eyes?
right eye while she was getting her eyebrows done. She screamed as it burned through the surface. Later at the hospital, doctors found an ulcer and scarring, resulting in permanent damage.
Yo, is there any amount of money y'all would lose an eye for? If you could get an unlimited amount of money for one eye, are y'all taking it? I'm not trading. No, I need both of my eyes, bro. I'm sorry, confidence is so important to me.
And she lost over half of the vision in that eye. She sued the spa and walked away with $400,000.
Damn, only? Nah, bro, I'm good, bro. If I lose my eye, I'm gonna need at least 5 mil.
The salon was later shut down.
I mean, good.
A tiny bullet was packed into the end of the key, and a safety latch stopped it from firing. This meant the guard could still use it to unlock cell doors. But if the prisoner tried to escape, the guard could release the safety. And when he pulled the trigger, a tiny flash ignited the gunpowder inside. This would shoot the bullet, stopping the prisoner in the—
Why that low-key kind of aura, bruh? You see, this is when humans used to be like shifty and stuff. Now we got AI memes of 2 grown dudes making out.
When a doctor gives you this IV, they insert a special needle into your vein. But this needle is made from a metal that reacts to body heat. As the medicine flows,
Yeah, I don't care. I'll be honest, I feel like as a grown-up, if you still scared of needles, you need to grow up, bruh.
he vanished while playing near a lake on a family trip. They searched for months but found no trace of him. Then, hundreds of miles away, he was found with a handyman. Now, the family was overjoyed to find their lost son, but the handyman insisted they had the wrong boy.
That's creepy. No, that's actually creepy, bruh.
Courts ruled in favor of the family, and the boy was raised as their own. But decades later, a DNA test revealed that he wasn't actually their child.
Do y'all know how creepy that has to be for the boy? His was probably like, why are y'all crying over me? I have never met y'all a day in my life. Oh no. I know the other dad was relieved. Yo, were they practically twins?
Meaning they accidentally kidnapped another boy, and their real son was never found.
That's kind of depressing, bruh. That's genuinely actually kind of depressing. Yo, why didn't the boy speak out unless he was like extremely young?
They dipped the bun in water to soften it, which made
There's nothing that makes me look more disgusted at food than seeing competitive eaters, the way they be swallowing food. Like, I highly doubt they even care about the taste. I mean, I understand water makes things go in easier, but soggy buns and soggy sausages, that cannot taste good. You can't convince me.
makes it quicker to eat in a hot dog eating contest. And instead of taking big bites, they take fast, controlled breaths to keep their airways clear. Competitive eaters train their gag reflex over time, allowing them to—
So you're telling me you gotta deep throat toothbrushes to train for eating food? I mean, that makes sense because hot dogs are in like the shape of real glizzies, but hey man, if you gotta practice giving good throat action, hold on, does that mean competitive eaters have good neck action? Never mind, let me keep going. I feel like I'm losing the plot.
handle large amounts of food without choking. They use rapid swallowing and careful timing to ensure they don't block their airways while eating fast.
Anyone ever find it so fascinating that these competitive eaters are also just so skinny? 8 times out of 10, they're just never fat. Like Matt Stoney, I'm like, this man be taking down full menus and his ass is like, what, like 180? I'm like, what? He looks so slim.
He dialed the phone using a pencil as blood poured from the stumps where his arms should have been.
Wait, is this a real story? I'm sorry, what accident did your ass have to be in to be walking like a pitchfork, my dog?
You see, they had been ripped off after his shirt got caught in a machine, but he walked 100 yards to his house and opened the door with his mouth. Then he used a pencil to dial 911. Once help arrived, they found his arms, and doctors were able to reattach the—
Oh, that's actually amazing. Do you know how relieved I would be to see my arms reattached? Shout out to the police officers for actually coming by quick in time, because this is insane, bro. Oh my goodness.
bones, veins, and skin while he was in a coma. He spent weeks in recovery and eventually regained use of both arms.
No, that's actually tough. Imagine if he couldn't open the door using his mouth. Yo, am I the only one that I felt like I would have been so shocked to lose my arms that my ass would have just passed out? I'll be real. If that happened to me, bro, it's cooked. I'm losing faith, bro.
If you pulled a fish out of the ocean and dropped it into a pond, it would quickly die. That's because without salt, they absorb too much water, making their organs swell. But if
I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Every pool that I've ever been in with my friends, y'all were swimming in my piss.
a bull shark is plopped into a lake, they start peeing like crazy, up to 20 times more than normal, to flush out the excess water they're absorbing. At the same
Water is what makes them piss? Well, obviously water makes everyone piss, but they don't piss out the salt?
swell. But if a bull shark is plopped into a lake, they start peeing like crazy, up to 20 times more than normal,
What radioactive piss you got going on?
to flush out the excess water they're absorbing. At the same time, a special gland in their butt works.
Alright, Zack D Films, I know you animate everything, but one thing I've never expected to see was the inner workings of a shark's butthole. What do we got going, Zack? I didn't expect to wake up today seeing the lining of a shark's butt.
Overtime to hold on to salt, preserving the delicate balance in their blood that
Wait, they store the salt in their butthole? I guess everybody's body works in mysterious ways.
most fish would lose, meaning you could find a bull shark swimming in any body of water.
Why you gotta animate that, bruh?
A meteor headed straight for a small house, where a woman inside was napping on her couch. The rock smashed into a wooden radio, bouncing off and slamming into her side. The meteorite was the size of a grapefruit.
So why would you animate it like that? You had us thinking it was the size of a miniature planet. I deadass thought Pluto just came crashing down. What is this? Zack D, you can't be lying like this, bro. You can't be lying like this.
And she became the first and only person to be hit by one and survive. But her landlady claimed the rock belonged to her because she owned the house. So she sued the woman, and she had to pay $500 just to keep the rock that hit her. But the endless stress from media attention wrecked her life, so she eventually gave it away to a museum.
Does anyone know how much meteorites even cost? I would want like a meteorite ring. I feel like that would be cool.
If you shot a bullet at a fly, would it be fast enough?
Zack, if we could please change this fly to a mosquito. Mosquitoes, I wish you hell. I hate mosquitoes. Every mosquito deserves to be punished. We need to pluck mosquitoes wing by wing, leg by leg. Deadass. Mosquitoes are the worst thing to happen to this earth.
To move out of the way? Well, this is what we actually look like to a fly. To them, we move in super slow motion.
Oh my goodness. So imagine mosquitoes having to see chop people. You gotta see 9 different angles of a chop person. That's tough, bro.
This is because flies process what they see over 4 times faster than humans and can fly away in about 20 milliseconds. But a bullet moves at over 800 miles per hour, faster than a jet. And by the time the fly registers the bullet's movement, it would have already traveled over 20 feet, meaning it will get hit before it can react.
Damn.
He crawled into a hole in the
Yo, your animation skills are getting a little bit better, if I do so say myself. That's all I'm gonna say.
wall after escaping prison and found himself inside a Toys R Us. Over the next 6 months, he built a home there, stealing from the store to decorate his home.
Out of every place you could have went in to steal from for your house, IKEA, any other interior design, Home Depot, you're gonna decide to steal from Toys R Us. Crazy.
He lived off baby food and kids snacks and exercised by riding a bike around the store at night. Eventually, he set up baby monitors to keep track of employees and even changed their work schedules. all so he could rob the store at gunpoint. But after police caught up with him,
Why would you rob the store at gunpoint if your ass is in the store at nighttime? You ever thought to maybe just check out the cash register?
he grips the bow firmly between his toes, pointing his feet toward the target. He then picks up the arrow using his other foot and hooks it into a small...
How do y'all think people with feet make love? Like just feet, no arms. It gotta be freaky, bro. Instead of using their hands, they just out there like... Yeah. Yo, come over here, girl.
All metal clasp. Slowly, he leans back, pulling the string and lining up the shot. Then he releases the arrow by triggering the clasp with his jaw, sending it straight into the bullseye. And this precision is what earned him an Olympic medal.
Shout out to all the Paralympics out there.
A wire inside her pacemaker suddenly came loose, stopping the blood from pumping. She collapsed unconscious on the floor. Now, when her husband grabbed her by the ankles to move her, she suddenly woke up. You see, being upside down somehow reconnected the wire to...
Oh my goodness, bro. I think this is like the iPhone equivalent to being on FaceTime and you're seeing it being laggy because you're on 1% and you find the charger in time. That's literally what it is, bro. He really saved her life. Now, the fact that your heart is connected because of a wire, like you're living because of a wire, is crazy.
her heart. But when she stood upright, it disconnected again. So to keep her alive until they could do surgery...
Come on, dude. How you gonna pump fake us like that? He saved her because he put her in the right position and then he put her back down.
So to keep her alive until they could do surgery, her husband had to hold her upside down for over an hour.
Oh, okay, at least he knew that. Yo, that's crazy, bro. I'm glad she alive.
If you clap both ears, your cupped hands create a pressure wave that slams into your eardrums from both sides. This compresses the delicate hair cells inside.
Yo, does anyone else ignore your iPhone signs to turn the volume down? I'm not gonna lie, I feel like when I turn like 60, 70, don't say it. My ears are gonna be cooked, bro, because I always ignore that shit.
These hairs convert sound into electric signals. Once they're damaged, they don't grow back. And if the pressure is strong enough, it can even rupture your eardrums, causing hearing loss and leaving you constantly dizzy. She locked her son inside the chicken coop.
Oh my god. Yo, what is that start to a video, bro? How bad could you despise your kid so much that you're gonna throw him into a chicken coop? And not to say, aren't some chickens like literally violent? Like some chickens will literally be crazy.
When he was just a baby. And over the next 7 years, he was raised by the birds. He learned...
I don't think that's a good thing. Look at bro's stomach. And what is he eating for food? Is he just like cracking the eggs and he's like, was he dead ass abandoned?
Learned to move like them and make strange bird-like sounds instead of talking.
His ass looks like a bird too, bro. This is bad.
And because he only ate chicken food, he didn't get enough vitamins, causing his bones to warp and bend.
They got my boy looking like NBA YoungBoy. Nah, gang, this is wild. Nah, that's tough, bro. Yo, I'm praying for you, my boy. We gonna get you right, though.
Even after he was rescued, he moved around like a chicken. And though he eventually learned English, his body never fully recovered.
Yo, this is actually sad, though. I know his legs look crazy, but in reality, this is genuinely sad. No, she basically just forgot the child. The child had to actually eat chicken food the majority of his beginning life. That's sad.
They would poop through a wooden plank with...
Yo, Zach, can you please give us, like, I don't know, warnings? Because I didn't expect for the first 2 seconds to see a man squatting and pooping, bro.
a hole cut in it, right above the crashing waves. And whatever dropped went...
Yo, oh my goodness, yo, Zach, you're so, like, what is this animation, bro? Do you see the amount of graphics you put onto a number 2? What do you got going on?
straight through the hole and into the sea. It was past the very front of the ship, so the wind would carry the smell away from the
okay,
crew.
that's good.
But there weren't walls or railings, meaning in rough seas, a single wave could easily knock you overboard.
Imagine you got death by wanting to take a number 2. You over here squatting, fiending for a good number 2, and you get knocked out. Crazy, bro.
The attacker fired the gun, aiming directly at the man. But at the same time, he put his bag up to cover his face. And instead of piercing his skull, the bullet hit the bag and flew straight into the iPad inside. It lodged itself in the metal.
Wait, how did he even get fast enough to even put the bag up? That's crazy, bro.
Leaving the man unharmed. And he managed to tackle the gunman to the ground. holding him there.
Okay, I understand there's different ways to subdue people. This without context, I'm gonna assume his ass is making out with him. Like, you're spreading it out on a man's knees, bro. You couldn't just like lay on him, like pin him down like this. Hey man, to each their own, bro. Enemies to lovers.
The bull charged right at him, but just as it was about to strike, he hit a button, and the bull suddenly stopped. You see, the scientist had implanted tiny wires in its skull, and pressing the button.
Do y'all think they're gonna do this to humans soon? I'm telling you right now they are. And if they're not gonna do this to humans, they're gonna like make AI robots that have this control.
Sent electricity into its brain. This controlled the signals sent into the bull's body, causing it to stop mid-charge.
If they could get a big ass bull to stop midway, imagine what they could do to humans.
But when people heard about the experiment, they panicked. They were terrified he would use the technology to control their minds, which put an end to the scientists' research.
No, hold on, bro. Hold on, give me that, bro. Give me that, bro. There's a couple people that I gotta use it on, bro.
She was kidnapped and held hostage for 7 days, and her kidnappers planned to force her into marriage.
Okay,
but as the girl cried, a pack of lions suddenly appeared. The kidnappers were terrified, running from the scene and leaving their victim behind. But instead of harming her, the lions spent the next 12 hours guarding the girl. When police and her family finally got there, they found the girl shaken but alive, and the lions calmly walked back into the forest.
Do y'all think animals got like human emotions? Well, obviously that's a dumb question, but how much % of animals do y'all think could like really read a scenario for what it is? Because in any other instance, I feel like her ass would have been ate. Crazy, bro.
80 feet below Manhattan, more than 6,000 tons of gold sit locked inside a vault. And
yo, okay, Zach, it looks like you want to plan a heist and you're just trying to give us this information so you could do it yourself. What is this?
This is worth over $500 billion. Most of it arrived from foreign countries who wanted to keep their gold safe after World War II. When a new deposit enters, it's logged, weighed, and stored in its own padlocked compartment. Then it's sealed behind a 9-foot-tall cylinder with a 140-ton steel frame around it. Cameras and motion sensors monitor the vault, and police patrol the entire system.
Y'all couldn't give it like maybe a little bit of rat poison. Y'all couldn't like capture it and maybe put some like mouse traps. Y'all had to spray the whole goddamn clip on a rat. Is this what we're doing? Is this society now?
Making it one of the most secure places on Earth. The toddler fell 50 feet into a narrow well. Rescuers lowered ropes, trying to loop them around the boy.
If you're not smart enough to hold on to that rope, it's GG's, my boy. We're gonna see you on the other side, bro.
And they even brought in heavy machinery to dig the pipe out.
Yo, you are taking a huge risk with that.
But it took 11 hours just to dig a few feet down. Finally, a passing teenager offered to go in himself. A rope was tied to his waist and he was lowered in head first, with a flashlight strapped to his forehead.
Imagine you're scared, lost in a dark cave, and the first thing you see is this. I'm running away. I'm running further deep down into the cave, bro. This is not the first sight that I want to see. His ass said, hey, hey. Nah, bro. Move, bro.
Strapped to his forehead, he stretched out his arms to grab the child. And when they pulled him to the surface, he brought the toddler
Yo, imagine if he dropped him like midway.
back up alive. As she sat down on the outhouse toilet, something reached up and
Yo, no, Zach, we gotta talk about these animations, bro. No, bro. What is this? We adding jiggle physics to the butt now? Is this how you're trying to show us that she sticked up? That, like, right when she got scratched, her butt moved a little?
something reached up and
Why that thing dangin', bro?
scratched her butt. She screamed, thinking it was a squirrel. But when her brother lifted the seat, he came face to face with a black bear. It had crawled in.
Can you blame the bear, though? Imagine you're a bear chilling thinking you're sleeping, and then the lady comes and she dookies on your face. Bride be heated, too.
In from beneath the back door and was living under the toilet. He slammed the lid shut, and they ran to safety, waiting for the bear to move out. And after that, they carried bear spray every time they went to the toilet.
What about this? Maybe you close underneath the area where the bear could actually live? There's such thing as bear spray? I heard of like insect spray. Bear spray?
They sprinkled salmonella over the salads in local restaurants.
Wait, there's salmonella powder? This is something you could just buy? I thought salmonella was just uncooked food.
And soon, hundreds of people started vomiting.
No, I don't even think they put salmonella, bro. You just eating Arby's, bro. It just comes with with the job.
with fever and diarrhea spreading fast.
Has anyone ever ate food and then had the direct urge to poop right then and there? That has never happened to me. I feel like I could eat laxatives and it's gonna take at least like a couple minutes for me to want to poop. If you're pooping instantly after eating, you're eating something terrible.
Now, at first, people blamed the workers, saying they didn't wash their hands. The police soon found that a local cult was responsible, poisoning over 700 people. This was to stop them from voting in the local election.
I thought your ass was just trying to get bigger Yelp reviews. Whole time this is a political thing? What? The amount of people that probably hate that store right now and it was never their fault.
So the cult's candidate had a better chance of winning. But instead of winning, they were charged and put in prison.
That's crazy, bro.
The tea is handed to the doll, triggering a wound-up spring made of whalebone. As the spring
we don't
he
care,
was
bro.
dragged away from the boat by a strong current. And when her brother tried to save her, they were both pulled down the river.
Yo, I hope they're saved. I deadass hope they're saved. That gotta be so sad on the dad, bro. Imagine seeing your daughter in the river and then your son wants to go help and now both of them got swept away. Come on, bro. Please lock in. Please tell me they're gonna get saved.
Their dad jumped in and tried to catch up, but the kids were too far away.
Ain't no
if
way.
they had kept going, all three could have drowned. So instead, the boy swam for help while his father stayed behind. He doggy paddled over a mile until he finally reached the shore, and his family was rescued thanks to his bravery.
Damn, bro. I ain't gonna lie, no, he's him. You know, he's actually him. If the dad had to be in that same area and the little boy had to rescue, oh yeah, he's him.
If you smash a glass, turn off all the lights, and lay a flashlight on the floor, the light will catch on the glass shards, and even the tiniest pieces will reflect the light back, making them sparkle. Then take half a raw potato and run it across the glass pieces.
Do not do this. For the love of God, do not do this.
The sharp edges will stick into the flesh, and the potato will lift them off the floor, making sure it's safe to walk on.
Do not do this. If you see glass shards, be smart. Maybe broom the shards into an actual, like, you know, the scooper upper thingy. Don't use a potato, bruh.
He took the winning Monopoly tickets into the airport bathroom. Then he replaced them with the losing ones. You see, he was the head of security, taking care of millions of dollars worth of winning tickets. And he was supposed to deliver an envelope full of them to McDonald's packaging factories, where they were applied to cups and boxes. These would be sent out to restaurants, where customers would peel off the packaging, hoping to win. But instead, the man stole some, then resealed the envelope, making it look like nothing had happened. If he claimed the prizes himself, he would be caught. So instead, he sold them to friends, asking for a fraction of the prize money up front. For 12 years, he got away with it, stealing almost $25 million worth.
Who snitched, bro? Because I'm not gonna lie, yes, I'm against all of this shit, but that's just a smart way to do it.
But finally, someone called in an anonymous tip, and since all the winners were connected to him, he quickly got caught and
okay, so the winners of the actual people that gave him the money. All right, damn.
If you get a splinter, most people would rip into their skin with.
Okay, no, that's literally a lie. Yo, Zack D. Phillips, I don't know which friends you got that dig into their splinters using tweezers, but over here, we like to just use our fingers to just clear it up. You're dead ass doing more damage.
Tweezers to dig it out. But if you cut the end off of a normal syringe, then press the open end firmly onto your skin directly over the splinter, you can quickly pull the plunger up, creating a suction inside the syringe. And this forces the splinter to move upwards, pulling it straight out of your skin.
Imagine if the thing that like hurts you goes all the way up, flips, and then pokes you again. That would be crazy. Zack, why do you think people have like syringes just laying around in their house? Or tweezers? Bro, I'm using my fingers.
They connected the blood vessels as they pushed his amputated hand into the incision on his calf.
Is there a version of Frankenstein that I just missed? Are y'all playing with bro? Like, is he like a test subject? Did he agree to this? Why are you attaching a hand to his feet?
This pumped fresh blood into the hand, keeping it alive. You see, he had gotten into an accident at work.
then maybe use that hand and attach it to his arm. You ever thought that?
And doctors knew they had to act fast, but his arm was too damaged to reattach it right away. And if the hand didn't get blood soon, the tissue would die. So they decided to attach it to his leg while his arm healed. Then, once it was ready, the hand was still fresh, and they were able to reattach it.
That's smart. Wow, I did not know that, bruh.
As they pulled up beside the commercial plane, they looked inside the windows and saw everyone inside slumped over and passed out. And there was no one in the cockpit. You see, the crew forgot one switch before takeoff, and the cabin pressure dropped as the plane climbed into the air. The pilots misunderstood the alarm and tried fixing the wrong thing, but the oxygen...
AC? Yo, let me find out we're losing oxygen and you make the plane colder. Bro, I'm smacking the hell out of you. Pilots really have a crazy amount of control over our lives, bro. It's insane.
...was too low inside, and everybody passed out. The jet kept flying on autopilot, circling the city at 30,000 feet with no one at the controls for over an hour. One person was still conscious, and he tried to take control, but the engines had run out of fuel. The plane crashed into a hillside, and they all lost their lives.
Damn, bruh. Oh, R.I.P. I was really hoping he was him, bruh. I would have been like, what is your ass doing with the spare oxygen tank? R.I.P., bro. That's sad.
The owner would beat the goat with sticks, and he did
I was never beat up. Ronaldo was never beat up. LeBron was never beat up.
this to make it aggressive towards humans, so it would guard him. And this went on for a long time. But one day, the goat had enough. It charged forward, ramming its sharp horns straight into the man's stomach twice. As the man stumbled away, the goat chased him onto the porch, then kicked him off. And he hit the ground hard, dying within minutes. When his body was found, the goat was captured, but instead of being put down, it was taken in by animal rescuers.
The irony in that, bruh. I'm not gonna lie, the GOAT did not deserve to get abused or get put down. I was kind of hoping that they were not gonna put down the GOAT. No, that's amazing right there. I ain't gonna lie. Yo, animal abuse is crazy to me. I'll be honest, I don't think I could ever be a vegan or a vegetarian, but if you're abusing animals and not doing things ethically, that's lame.
The shell is thrown into a vat of ground corn cobs to clean it. Then the old primer is popped out using a special press. Next, a new one is carefully pushed into the base. The shell is filled with the perfect amount of gunpowder, and the new bullet is placed on top and pressed into the case. This seals everything tightly and makes it ready for reuse.
Do y'all like guns, bro? Do y'all care about guns?
The cougar charged at the boy in his backyard, ready to pounce. But just...
You got away with words, Zack D Films. The cougar was ready to pounce on him. What happened to just attacking him?
Before it did, his dog came running. She lunged at the predator.
Oh my goodness. You know what this reminds me of? Y'all ever see like Pikachu facing like a Charizard or like a Mewtwo? This is what it reminds me of. Ain't no way your ass is supposed to be winning this.
Fighting it off as the boy ran to safety. By the time police arrived, the cougar had the dog by her neck.
The dog better survive, bro. I don't care about anything else right now. The dog better survive.
Now, they managed to shoot it, but the dog wasn't moving. That is, until the boy stepped forward. Suddenly, she let out a deep breath, stood up, and went straight over to him. She recovered from her wounds, and for saving his life, he bought her the biggest steak he could find.
He better than me, because you know what I would have done? That cougar is gonna get cut up, and you gonna be eating cougar steak today, buddy. W, bro. They both saved each other.
They cut off his middle finger after his body was dug up for reburial.
Sukuna?
You see, he had claimed that the earth revolves around the sun and was arrested by the Catholic Church for defying God. But centuries later, his discoveries were accepted as fact, and his body was being moved from an unholy grave to a Catholic tomb.
Okay, if you could take one thing from today's society and show it to people back then, what would it be? Yo, imagine if people back then seeing like phones, their mind would actually explode. Imagine if they seen like a car. To them, that's probably gonna look like witchcraft.
His finger was preserved in glass and placed in a museum, standing as a final gesture to those who didn't.
I love how this man put an an outline of him basically throwing up a middle finger.
Believe him.
Wait, out of all fingers, his middle finger. No, this got to be on purpose.
They yanked out the feathers around the chicken's butt.
Yo, I'm gonna need y'all to be very wise with your next words right now, because the way things are looking right now, I'm gonna assume you guys are gonna be doing something insane to the chicken, bro. And I don't really want to know what that is.
And pressed the butthole directly onto the infected lump.
You know what? I'd rather the infected lump than the dick. I'll be real with you, bro. But what makes y'all think this is okay? What healing property do you think a chicken's butt has? Feces comes out of here. What is you doing, my boy?
Strapping it on. You see, they thought it would suck out poison from the patient.
Yo, people back then were actual idiots. I'm so happy medicine and like actual health advances came, because the things people would believe back then is so idiotic. All that happened was the chicken just pooped on that man's infected area.
They would even seal its beak to encourage it to breathe through its butt. Once the chicken
Okay, you close your nose and mouth. See if you could breathe from your butthole. Oh my goodness, bro. Yo, society back then is actually insane.
suffocated, they immediately replaced it with another one. And this method was used for centuries before people realized it didn't actually work.
Imagine having a gunshot wound and you're like, yo, I need urgent care right now. I don't know if I can survive this shit. And somebody come with you and say, put this chicken butt up that hole. Crazy, bro.
The woman was tied to a wooden chair attached to a long beam.
Nah, she too bad to be going out like this, bro. Come on now, let her go, bro. I don't know what she did, but she's innocent.
Hanging over a river. Then she was slowly lowered into the water while crowds watched. You see, this device was meant to punish loud, rude women.
So you telling me all they did was yell? I'm not gonna lie, hot Cheeto girls in the morning in school, y'all better be happy y'all was not born in this era. All they did was be loud. That does not constitute this punishment, bro.
By humiliating them in front of the town. After a few seconds underwater, they would pull the lever, lifting her out, soaked and gasping for air. Then they would dunk her again and again, ensuring that she had learned her lesson.
What? The lesson being what? Stop being loud? Talking in a normal voice? Bro, we are losing the plot.
He climbed up into the plane's wheel compartment, hoping to see the world. But he didn't realize the wheel compartment door would open again in the sky.
Please tell me he survives, bro. Yo, the fact that nobody's actually checking underneath there to see if a kid is running up is crazy.
You see, he had run away from home because he wanted to travel. And when his parents caught him and put him into boarding school, he ran away.
Yo, do y'all know what boarding school is?
From there as well. He snuck into the airport before smuggling himself onto the plane. And as it took off, he thought he would finally get his wish. But as soon as the door opened again, the boy dropped out. And at that exact same moment, a man was testing out a new camera lens.
R.I.P. man. Crazy ass timing, bro.
He snapped this chilling photo, capturing the death of the boy and his dreams.
Nah, bro, that's sad. That's sad, bro. R.I.P. What?
If you put super glue on a wound, it will actually seal the skin shut. And you might think this is a quick way to avoid stitches, but if the cut isn't clean, dirt and bacteria can get trapped in.
Yeah, no, glue? I'm sorry, no, that sounds terrible. I'd rather just put a Band-Aid. I'm gonna put a Band-Aid there and then boom.
Inside, leading to a serious infection. Instead, ask a doctor to clean the wound properly, and they might even use their own fast-drying glue instead of stitches. But this is a special formula, allowing it to heal without an infection.
Yo, please tell me as a kid I wasn't the only one that used to pick out my scabs. That gotta be a common thing. This is why I feel like I have all these knee scars now, bro. I just never would let my knees actually heal.
He aimed the shotgun at the door and attached a wire to the handle, since the empty house had been robbed before.
Hold up, bro. I watched Home Alone. I don't think he ever actually popped them. I don't think he ever actually shot them, bro.
One night, two friends broke in, looking for antiques. When they entered the room, they set off the trigger, and this fired the buckshot straight at their legs, hitting one at close range and blowing part of it off. But
okay, at least he healed. Yo, what type of booby trap is that, bro? This medieval ass booby trap. You couldn't have done anything else? You couldn't, I don't know, trap them using some sort of like net?
Since it's illegal to booby trap a home, the robber sued the homeowner.
Good.
And the jury decided he was right.
Wait, no, hold on. I'm now thinking about it. Both of them are wrong. You was over here about to steal my antiques. I feel like both of them should be in trouble, right?
The owner was ordered to pay $30,000 and had to sell his farmhouse just to cover the cost. Behind the cupboard, they found a staircase that led to a concealed bunker.
We don't care.
He split his tongue in half with a laser.
Okay, when people do these type of things and then get the dermals and all these piercings and ear piercings and nose piercings, do y'all find that cool? I think these are disgusting, bro. Now, granted, if you want like one piercing here, maybe one in your nose, one in the tongue, by all means. But when you do this shit and you tat out your eyes and you have all these like, no, bro, you start to look like a monster. I wonder how much people actually like regret this after it happened. Because I'd be damned if I walk up to like a kid or whatever and then they just start crying looking at me. Like, these are chopped.
The flesh as it sliced through. Next, he filed his teeth into sharp points.
Dude, what is you doing? What is you doing?
And his entire body was tattooed with green scales, which took over 700 hours to complete.
Anyone else ever be thinking, okay, how does he get paid? What job is hiring this man? This gotta be expensive, and there's no way you're comfortable with doing this. Do you not care about having a love life? Do you not care about interacting with other people?
He even implanted bumps into his forehead, all without anesthetic. But the pain was so intense, he vomited while having hallucinations, and his pointed teeth and split tongue made it hard to speak, meaning
yeah, bro, imagine when this man bites his tongue. Oh my God, that gotta hurt.
He had to go to therapy just to learn to talk again.
That's just too creepy. I'm sorry, I can't co-sign that. Like, imagine how his like IDs and like passports and licenses and shit, they gotta look creepy as well.
If you drop a brick and a feather at the same time, the brick will hit the ground first.
Obviously.
That's because the feather's flat shape spreads out, so it bumps into more air as it falls.
We know
it's also too light to push against the air, so it falls slowly. Now, the brick has more area for the air to press on, but it's heavy and compact, so it cuts through the air more easily.
Yo, you know what would be gas? Imagine going to school and getting your education, but like Zack D Films like low-key animates it. I feel like learning would be much more comp if it was like this, like cool animations and shit. Like if we learned about it like that, like history and shit. I'm just putting that out there, bro. I'm putting that out there.
And doesn't slow down much, meaning it'll fall first. But if you put them in a vacuum chamber and take away all the air, there's nothing to slow either one down.
Yo, who's actually curious about these type of things? Like, when you make these videos, do people ask you this?
Gravity actually pulls everything down at the same time.
I never once thought to myself, I wonder how a brick and a feather would react in a vacuum.
After being cut off,
yo, Zack, we gotta talk about these animations, my boy. What is this?
its blood vessels and nerves were attached to the neck of a larger dog. And once everything was connected, the small dog's head and front legs were sewn onto the larger dog's back.
What do you think is gonna happen? You're trying to create like a Cerberus?
This disturbing setup,
Hey bro, if you're gonna cut off like the body of another dog, at least match it to the size of the other dog.
forced them to share the same blood supply, keeping them both alive. And for 3 weeks, the small dog's head could move and bark.
This is real. This actually happened?
Now, sadly, the strain was too much on their bodies, and both dogs eventually died.
No, wait, hold on. Does anyone actually want to see it? Boom, right there. That's how it looks. Like, why would y'all even want that though? Is that not like creepy?
She woke up with chunks of hair scattered across her pillow. And the same thing happened to almost a dozen other girls in the area. Parents nailed their windows shut and slept in their children's rooms, fearing that the phantom barber
Out of everything that you could have blamed, I don't know, radioactive things in the air, yo ass gonna blame a phantom barber?
would appear. And even though police searched for him, they found nothing. But when they investigated a separate attack, they found scissors and hair in the suspect's yard. Even though he said he was innocent, he was arrested and sentenced to 10 years in prison.
For what? I will say, by all means, going into kids' rooms and cutting their hair, weirdo activity. But buddy, are we serious? Like, all he did was cut hairs that were gonna grow back. Anyways, YouTube, that does indeed conclude Zack D Films. Yo, Zack D Films, your animation is getting crazier. So let's chillax on, you know, the graphics. You know, let's just make it a bit more friendly, man. Let's just get back to the knowledge and less of the gruesomeness, all right? Make sure you guys like, subscribe, join us on Twitch. Make sure you guys subscribe, road to 1 million, all that good stuff. Waxer for life. Love y'all.